You want to know why in Genesis 5:24 Enoch was translated into heaven and God took him? Genesis 5:24, go look it up.
You want to know why in 2 Kings 2:11 Elijah was taken in a chariot of fire and God took him?
Do you want to know why in Deuteronomy 34:5-6 God himself picked up the dead body of Moses and he walked into the wilderness and he buried him? God buried him. God had a funeral service for the body of Moses.
No one's touching that body.
Nobody's touching him.
And the devil contended with the angel of the Lord to want to know where God buried him. And God said, he said, you'll never know, and I'm not telling you.
Moses, your body has died, and I'm not leaving it there for the people to worship, to bury and make a shrine. You would have just had a living snot fit. So he reached down, and God picked up the body of Moses and walked into the desert and buried him. Sometimes God will have you pick something up out of your life and bury it. He'll say, it's gone, it's dead. I want you to bury it. And you say, God, I don't know how to bury that. God will say, come here. You and I together are going to pick this up. And we're going to bury it. Maybe it's your past. God says, I want to bury it. Maybe it's a person. God says, I want you to let that go. Maybe it's an addiction and a stronghold, and God says, I want you to bury it. Maybe it's a memory so painful that you went through. God says, let's go take this to Calvary and let's lay it right at the foot of the cross. And then I'm going to walk you over here to the tomb. We're going to roll back the stone and we're going to bury it with Christ Jesus. I don't know where that came from. That was not in my notes. It doesn't even go with the whole sermon. But it's for somebody today. God himself buried Moses with no headstone, no grave marker, no worship, no nothing. You know why? Because they were friends. They were friends. Enoch walked with God and was not, for God took him. Said he was a friend of God's. Elijah is a friend of God. He'd met with him. He knew him personally by name. Moses, that's my friend. He knows me. We've spent face-to-face time. And it wasn't on this. You want to know why in Mark 15:37, God ripped the 30-foot long, 30-foot wide, and 30-foot high, 4-inch thick veil in the temple so you could get in and be his friend. Because he says, I want to know you. You don't know how to... I know you're not going to walk across the world to Saudi Arabia. You're not going to Mount Sinai, Mount Horeb. You're not going over there to find the mountain of God, to find me. Well, when I sent Yeshua, my son, and he said he was coming, that veil is the only thing in the temple that stood between my presence and you. And on the moment that Jesus said, Father, it's finished. The temple veil that was 30 feet long, 30 feet high, 4 inches thick, was ripped from top to bottom. Because God says, it's about time my kids could come home and visit. You have access to the temple of the Lord, to the mountain of God in your life right today. If you're not taking advantage of it, God says, I want you for 40 days to pay attention to me. And I want you to find me. These next 40 days, find me. Chase after me. I ripped that veil from top to bottom so you could get in and find me. Don't back down. Don't back down. Don't make it public and don't tell anybody. Don't breathe the word that you're going to the temple and you're going to shut the door and meet with God. If somebody sees you standing outside and you're worshiping God, don't make it known. What are you doing? Just me and God are having some time together. Can I come join you? Well, actually, no. You can't. I've been instructed that these next 40 days are for a purpose. And I am to meet God and give an account of my 40 days. And I will see you in 40 days, guys. I expect to see the glory of the God shining on you, operating in you. I expect to see the presence of God indwelling you to the point you can't contain it. That you walk in the door, Pastor Deneille, I saw him. He came. He came to my tent. I saw him. That's what I expect. You're going to seek him. You're going to chase him. You're going to chase after his glory. You're going to walk up to the mountain, and when he says, I ripped open the veil, honey, come right on in. You're going to go, I've been waiting so long for your presence. If Michael could just pull that song up, In the Presence of Jehovah. I want you to take a moment. Just take a moment and worship him in your seat.